playing on PC.
The seals must be broken.
Do you still have my YouTube channel? It should be the first one that pops up. Oh, shit. But yeah, no, I'm streaming this right now. I've done. Oh, did you see that they remastered GTA again?
Believe me.
Yeah, for PS5. So now it has haptic feedback, and it runs at a higher frame rate now. So I think I can hit like 120 frames on GTA now. It literally feels like playing on a computer.
Arming C4.
It'd be cool when I'm making real money, and then for like Christmas and shit, I could just buy you a PlayStation 5. Well, if you think about it, I'm trying to get up to this time next year, remaking like 50 grand a year. Did Mom tell you I finished the first part of my cohort for the coding? Yeah, so part 1's done, now I'm on part 2, and then there's part 3. And then I'll probably get like a job at like a gas station while I'm going through, because the interview processes for the jobs, like once you start making more money, bro, the interviews get way fucking harder.
There was no hope, nor mercy for you.
There's a couple like junior web developer positions around me. Yeah, I'm probably gonna try and swoop one of those up. And then if I'm real good, she's a software developer?
Off you go.
Oh, he's a software developer for... I'm trying to figure out who's the software developer. Because I'm becoming a software engineer. Oh, what is my position? So basically, originally what it was you had software engineers become software engineers by going to college, and that's still how a lot of them do it. But it's kind of becoming a trade, like a modern trade. So you can just go to a tech school, pretty much, the equivalent of a tech school, and get all the training you need to learn how to code. So this one has a 6 months hiring assistance program, as well as they are affiliated with other companies, which basically means, so I chose this place because they had a lot of companies backing their certification, which makes it easier for me to get hired. It's like, well, I went to this school, and it's like Nike, Patagonia, Microsoft, all these companies hire from this school. Oh god. See, that's why I got out of customer service. I just could not do it.
Progress. 2 seals persist.
Oh, I've been playing Deathloop, because I have a extended hard drive. Deathloop. So it's a Sony exclusive game that recently came out. Pretty much the premise is you're stuck on an, like, it's based in the 50s to 70s. Like, picture, have you seen the game like We Happy Few? So that kind of art style. It's like 50s retro, 70s kind of look. It's super fucking It's a good example of a
faced
game
a
we've
far
played
bigger
together that
horde.
had like TVs and stuff in it. Because I feel like there has been a game we've played. Kind of like a Fallout. Yeah, I would say kind of like a Fallout vibe. If you look it up, you'll see the art style, but it's super fucking sick. Oh yeah, it's made by the same company that made no, not that made Gone Rapture, but made what's it called, BioShock. They made this game. Yeah, so they started making the games, like, what was it called? Have you remember the most recent?
So much.
Prey?
No.
Yeah, the most recent Prey. That kind of art style, it's made by those same developers. So this is the games they've been making. They're making a completely different, like, universe. So it takes place on an island where you're stuck in a time loop for a day, and half of the people don't know. Like, majority of the people on the island don't know they're in a time loop. And there's like a certain 8 people that do, and that's how they've been using it to like develop technology forever and stay like young, is on this island like stuck in a time loop.
Smile as your corpse
And you're trying to break out of it because you want to leave the island. You keep getting roped back in. Like, there's a shit ton of lore, but there's this other girl who doesn't want the time loop to end, so you have to figure out how to kill all 8 of the people who know
body drop.
on the first day before the time loop resets. So it's like this giant puzzle. Oh, no. So each day goes by pretty fast. So pretty much think of it as you load into a map. So each map has different day and night areas. Like how the map looks between day and night and what's happening in that section of the map at that time. So you have to maneuver through the game. So there's 4 time periods throughout the day. You have like morning, what is it? Midday, dusk, and night. And within those 4 slots, you have to figure out how to kill all 8, like how to get all 8 of the people in the same spot, and then kill them.
This
So that game's super sick.
is wrong.
And then I've been playing also Far Cry 5. That game fucking is a letdown compared to Far Cry 4. Nah, dude, Far Cry 4. I was thinking about deleting Far Cry 5 and redownloading Far Cry 4. Because Far Cry 4 is a masterpiece. That game is so good. Yeah, you can play together on Far Cry 5 and Far Cry 4. So we should do that sometime. That would be fun. Far Cry 6 is a copy and paste of Far Cry 5, is what I've heard, just made to look prettier and has face mapping of actors in it. So, I liked in Far Cry, you had to go hunt down specific animals to make like the maxed out trait on something. Like, that was so sick. It was, dude. There was like way more going on in Far Cry 4 than in Far Cry 5. Far Cry 5 just feels like, what is it? It's like a VG's donut versus a Vaughn's donut, dude.
You are weak and pathetic.
It's just a letdown. You go into it expecting a real good donut. You know what other game I've been playing? So I have Stadia as well. So throughout the day while I'm coding, I'll just run Stadia in the background and then so I'll code for like 2 hours and then take like an hour break and play Cyberpunk on Stadia 2077. Dude, Cyberpunk's the story is so good. The game's glitchy as hell, but at a certain point you stop even noticing the glitches. You just get enthralled with what's happening.
I smile as your corpses pile up.
What was that? It's kind of hard to hear you. Where's your mic at? Yeah, that's much better. What'd you say? So, like, if I started working for a game company, I'd be in, like, if I worked at Bungie, right, I would be working on the website you see when you Google Bungie.
I snuff out the light of your
Oh yeah. I might start doing, like in a year or so, just night classes, like one class at a time, and knock out college that way. Spend 2 hours a night doing schooling. Because I really like my relationship with Taylor because the sleep schedule works really fucking good. I sleep about 4 hours. She sleeps between 4 and 8, and she sleeps like a solid 8 to 12. So there's a good amount of time I can spend awake while she's asleep, and she does not care what I do while I'm awake. He's at work right now. Yeah, this is how we adult, dude. One of us will be at work and the other one will be gaming, and then we can just join a call and talk. So I live stream, and then he can come over and watch the live stream whenever he wants. Just see what I'm doing. And then it gets me a bunch of like cool content on my YouTube. So I'll be able to look back and show my kids. I'll be like, that's because you don't understand how cool these fucking clips are, dude. Get on my page, fucking scrub. I think it'll be cool. I think a lot about like certain things I wanted. I think the main issue I had with our parents is from a young age they taught me to like be quiet and not talk to them, so at no point did I develop any real relationship with our parents. Because they didn't take the time to like learn who Austin was, you know? Just to figure out shit I'm interested in. So I think about a lot like how I want to do it better.
I swear fealty as long as you are here.
Well, I think for me it's just looking at my evolution from relationship to relationship and my interactions with people. I try to make sure I'm constantly evolving and working to like there's key structures to interacting with people that I'm constantly trying to work on, and like compassion and patience are the main ones right now. Those are like at the forefront of my mind right now, is meeting everyone with compassion and patience. Don't let myself get caught up in like the what is it, the romanticization and the enjoyment of being frustrated. That's what I'm working on. What the fuck is this thing? And being
Marking
chill.
waypoint coordinates.
And then so having like a personality, like so after the last time at BHS, it's bipolar depression is what it was, but they recently removed like bipolar depression from a category, so it's just I'm bipolar now. That's what I'm classified as. So, well, I have chronic depression, but I'm bipolar, so when I get depressed, it hits harder. Oh, yep, he lost network connection. And another thing I struggle with is creating realities in my head and then letting myself get frustrated by those realities. So Taylor has been super patient in the fact that I have those moments happen, and we respect and understand that like I'm gonna say shit and be a certain way, and it's gonna affect how she feels, and she's 100% allowed to be hurt by it, but at the end of the day we're gonna work together to talk it through and get to where no one's feeling hurt. And like another thing we'll commonly do when someone's starting to get upset, it's like, okay, I see that you're getting upset. Why is it you feel the need to make me feel how you're feeling right now, rather than talk to me about what it is you're feeling? So, I don't know. The communication's been incredibly healthy. It's been mind-blowing. So that's been pretty cool. Being in a healthy relationship where I'm given the space to not be healthy, but it's like it's understood that I'm not healthy. I have the space to not be healthy, but at no point is it okay to exhibit not healthy behaviors, if that makes sense. Mhm. It's like at no point do we want animosity in the relationship where I say something that hurts her or she says something that hurts me, and instead of just like saying like, hey, what you said hurt me, and like instead of being, because normally what happens is someone will hurt your feelings and then you won't elaborate on why you're feeling hurt, what it was that they said that hurt you, and how the situation can get better. And that's like the first thing we try to get to whenever we start to not go down on each other, like get like whenever we start to get at each other's throats. So that's been really cool. Yeah. Because what was it? There's this one Indian philosopher who put it best, I feel. He's like, your mouth can have like bad breath, but your nose won't tell you. And feeling and expressing anger is a lot like a tornado. Like the tornado goes through, ravages and destroys the village, but it's not like the tornado can just look back at the village and say I'm sorry and the village is okay again. So like those things, keeping those in mind has been key for me and who I'm trying to grow into be. So I know for a fact I'm not the person I was 5 years ago, but me 5 years ago would be proud of the person I am right now. That's the goal. How's Dad been? Yeah, that's probably smart.
We've identified a crystal power node in your vicinity. We need that crystal destroyed. Find it and do your job.
Well, it's not a matter of admitting it at any point. It's understanding that he's someone who feels a lot of pain, but he is totally unwilling to talk to those around him about the pain that he is feeling. So instead, he decides to take it out on us. And if he wants to tarnish and ruin a relationship like that, that's his choice. With every relationship, there's two sides. A long time ago, me and Dad have never had like a father-son relationship, I don't feel. So we tried to do like the whole friends type thing, but I'm too focused on expressing what it is I'm feeling and making it known, as well as making sure I understand what those that are around me are feeling, and he chooses to not be open and honest, but he pushes the message of honesty. That's another thing too. Since being with Taylor, I've, like, you know how I was lying all the time with Dad and stuff. I don't lie like at all anymore. Like if I do bad on a test or something, I have no problem being like, hey Taylor, this happened, or I'm not doing so hot right here right now. And then, because Taylor will meet with, okay, well, what do you think we should do to make things better?
Do you even know what I'm capable of? Is that really all you have?
And then so another thing Dad did to us is the name calling growing up. That was hugely detrimental for you and I, because I don't know if you've noticed, but when we get into a moment where we feel like we're failing, have you ever listened to what your thoughts are saying? Like what they're actually saying? Like for me, it's like I'm a failure, I'm a loser, I can't do anything right. Everyone else is like those thoughts. Normal people don't have those, Tim. We shouldn't have those thoughts. Another thing, I don't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry. I'm totally listening.
This was only
it's
a
a bad
matter
habit.
of time.
I don't know why. Good. Yeah. No, you're good. You're good. You didn't cut me off at all. I think for me, the biggest thing has just been given a space where it's okay to be honest. Dad did not give us a space where it was okay to be honest. Yeah. And realize that other people don't think the same way as that. Like, a big problem I'm having right now is, because of Dad and Mom, I read everyone in the room. Like, I try to make sure I know how everyone's feeling. How, like, first, how they're trying to present how they're feeling, and then what they're actually feeling. Those are, like, the two things I try to constantly focus on with everyone in the room. That's exhausting. And with out here, dude, in the Midwest, it's like there's mannerisms you and I grew up with, which are like, if that's happening while you're hanging out with people, it's like, oh, I guess these people don't like me. But out here, it's just normal. So I'm constantly hanging out. Like, a good one is when we're all smoking together, like me, Taylor and her friends, they'll go quiet at some point. And I'm thinking it's like, oh, no one's getting along. Like, what the fuck's happening? Things are weird. Or like, I'll read small body languages on Cora or like Izzy, and I'll be like, well, the body language they were exhibiting doesn't show that they like me being around. I feel as though the entire time that they just wanted to hang out with you. So I'm having a hard time understanding why you included me, just for me to feel like not included the whole time. And then Taylor's looking at me like, dude, all that shit that you're like quote unquote seeing, it literally isn't real, and that's okay. Like, it's okay that it's not real, but you need to at least acknowledge that that's not what reality is. It's just how we behave out here. It's how we interact with each other. Yeah. And it's like, those things that you're seeing don't mean anything in this family. That's a huge part.
Take it to the grave.
Dad and Mom.
No effort is wasted.
It was the two. Mom's a lot better now because she's away from Dad. Another science too. So you know how the conception's like, you shouldn't be in a relationship until you're ready to be in a relationship. That's a modern misconception too. People with personality disorders, it's often been shown that being in a healthy relationship where they can start copying the behaviors of the person that's healthy, that they'll heal and grow faster. That's one thing I've noticed with Taylor is, she has been just, I don't know, there hasn't been a single fucking problem with Taylor. Like with Ash and stuff, at the beginning, there was like an excessive amount about talking about other guys and weird shit like that. With Taylor's just been, okay, well, what do we want to do? And then I've been able to go to Taylor and be like, hey, I'm in school right now, I'm pretty broke, I can't take us on dates all the time. And then she's been spoiling my ass, bro. I know, right? So life's been really good. And then what was it? That test that I just did, that was a real low moment, like a real bad anxiety moment for me. I was like 99% sure I was gonna fail it, even though it didn't make any logical sense. I was just so used to failing everything I tried to do, like when it came to school and stuff, that I was like sure I was gonna fail. Like, no matter how much studying I put in, it felt like I could not succeed. And then I pulled through, dude. That was such a good feeling. I'm so stoked about it. Now we're getting on to the next section, which means I'm one step closer to like starting a career, not just working jobs. And I'm missing. No, recently what? It's like I can support myself and not feel like killing myself every time I go to work. For me, it's like where you don't feel appreciated by anyone. That's what I hate the most. It's not feeling fucking appreciated. And then I'm like just naturally weird. So when I'm working in an environment and there's like clicks, I don't mesh well there. And a lot of those like lower income jobs, they find relief from the stress of being in a low income job by creating a clique at work that they feel like they can belong in. And that I just can't. And that's why I'm kind of also going for a remote job, is because everyone who works a remote job literally just, they're more obsessed with what they have going on in their personal life than creating a clique at work, you know? It's like, I literally found a job so I don't have to show up, dude. The only downside is it's like using Adobe tools. You have to stay up to date. The hardest part is staying up to date on all of the literature and how it changes.
That crystal will terraform this whole region if we don't stop it. Plant the charges and get it done.
And fuck that. Also fuck that, because the entire time growing up he was like, you're not going to be able to succeed in life while playing video games. Bullshit. I know, me too. That's like the hardest part, dude. Even right now. Yeah. I feel that constantly, dude. And then, so, when I first started my study tactic of study for 2 hours and then play video games for like an hour and then study for 2 hours, that was so hard. Like, I would only play video games for like 5 minutes before the stress and anxiety literally made me stop and then get back to work. But overall, then I'm like frying my head out and I can't stay focused. So it's being more detrimental not playing the video games to play the video games. So now I have to set a timer every 2 hours for an hour and make sure I don't touch code until that hour's up. I think Tim lagged out. I'm gonna message him real quick. Tim's back. So the nursing home that my girlfriend works at, that Taylor works at, has like a cat, and she's hanging out with the cat right now. You wanna know what's had me playing these like more story-based games? Taylor is like heavy into Skyrim, and that's like a super story-based game, so I played a little bit of that. And now I've been like more curious about story-based games rather than having to have like the coolest, newest thing in an online game. Story-based games are way less stress, dude. I don't feel like I can walk away from a story game any moment and not feel stressed out. Like, I've stopped playing Destiny so much because of that feeling. Dude, well, because of Dad and us not being allowed to make noise, I work so hard to like not make a single noise anywhere I ever am, dude. Yeah. Yeah. Because you don't want to get yelled at. It's crazy how many small things there are growing up that we had to like learn to cope with that we didn't even realize were a problem. Yeah.
Change is coming.
Yeah. Kyle got it real bad, real young. I think that's the biggest thing. And he was smaller than you for longer than you. Yeah, you remember how tiny he was for so long? So Dad was just pulverizing his ass, and yeah. No, I don't know. I don't think Kyle... Right, we're lucky because we're growing up with generations where we're pushing to have talks about mental health. Kyle's generation, there's no talks on mental health compared to what we have. But he seems to be doing real well. He's got a new wife and 2 kids. He's finding his way. I talk about it a lot with Taylor. I talk about you a lot with Taylor. I bring you up like crazy. I'm like, me and Tim have this in common, we have this in common. It's crazy because growing up, me and Tim, like, if one of us liked the same thing as someone else, it was like a fist fight, dude. WWE SmackDown. Do you want to do clay art? Nuh-uh, you taking an elbow to the front teeth, dog. Now it's like, yo, you like that music? No way, bro, I like that music. It's because we realized, I think it's because we realized that the reason we were fighting is because we were just replicating what we saw Mom and Dad doing. We thought that was the healthy way to interact with each other. And that's another problem I have is, I don't feel like I'm in a loving relationship unless I'm fighting with the person. Yeah, it's like, I don't think you love me right now. And they're like, why? Well, because you're not mad and fighting with me. How does that make any sense? I don't know. The intensity, exactly. Another good quote I've heard is, a successful relationship isn't like a movie. It's like sitting on a calm lake. It needs to be functional. I think now I'm trying to replicate after seeing you get with someone who was super similar to you, I was like, okay, I'm going to do that. And then now seeing how me and Taylor interact and how you and Alex interact, I think we found like what is it? Michael to Georgia as Georgia is to Michael. Hers is November 5th? August 5th. Do you know what was crazy, dude? Guess what day Taylor's born? November 28th. A day and a month after me. It's crazy, dude. Mm-hmm. That's pretty fucking cool. That's some cool shit. It makes it easy as fuck to remember. I don't have to work hard.
Destination marked.
Oh, another thing Taylor said to me that I think is very true is, she's like, it feels like when we're having these moments, it's like you're testing me. It's like you're trying to give me two options to choose, but no matter which option I choose, like there's different levels of how upset you're gonna be.
Free me from my cage.
It's like I'm giving you the option to not fuck up. I'm trying to like set up the perfect situation. Yeah, it's like, what's the word I'm looking for? Because it's not necessarily instigate. It's like I set up the scenario, and then it's like setting up. Another issue I have is justification of thought processes. So like, I'll have anxiety attacks and panic attacks. Those happen for no reason, but my brain comes up with a justification for them, if that makes any sense. So like, when... No, I want to hear what you have to say. Go for it. Let me readjust my audio again. Mm-hmm. I agree. It's trying to, for me, it's not like schizo, because I don't have, like, well, no, I'm just trying to, I'm thinking through the processes of how you're feeling, what you're saying, how it relates, just overall, because it is kind of like a schizo feeling, of just like, you can feel reality slipping out from underneath you, and like what makes sense doesn't make sense, and you're feeling these extremely big emotions. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That exact, like, super negative thought process. Mm-hmm. I feel you 100%. And for me, it's like, I'm touchy around specific words. It's like I set up fail gates. Oh, I failed the game. Like, I'm constantly, I don't know, I'm constantly testing. I think it's because, so it boils down to, I was always reading if mom and dad wanted me around. And so I'm constantly, yes, testing to see if, like, if what I was thinking was true. And the second that I see anything I think is true, I hold on to that, like, as tight as I can. And then I use that as my reason for, like, either running away, and then when I'm not allowed to run away, acting out. I'm like, well, I'm acting out because you don't want me here and you're forcing me to be here. Even though that's not, like, what makes sense at all. Mm-hmm. Yeah. With, I think it's more intense with mom because you have mom, like, lying to your face type stuff. Thankfully, I keep both of them at super arm's length. Is that yeah, I hear Kiki, but from my point of view, I hear a cat meowing, and then I hear John go, "God damn it, Pretzel!" and then a smack, like he hit a cat named Pretzel. That's too good. Oh, Tim, so guess how many cats Taylor has? 3. So there's 2. They're all indoor cats now, but we have one that her name's Mama's, and we'll take her out like in the morning, then she'll stay out all day, and then at night she'll like come, like, okay, so every time we head out to smoke, she'll come back from wherever she's at on her like adventure for the day, and then come hang out with us. Then like we'll go to the door and like see if she wants to come in or not, and then she'll like either walk off or like let us pick her up and take her in. And then I don't know, she's like a friend, dude. It's crazy how much personality that cat has. And then there's Bob and Powder, and those 2 motherfuckers are adorable. And then there's there's 2 dogs. So 3 cats and 2 dogs. We had 4 cats, but one just died. He was old and an outdoor cat, so I think he was like 10. Yeah, especially an outdoor cat. But Bob, he was an outdoor cat who went and retired and became a geriatric indoor cat. Really what we're running here is a geriatric animal facility. Because all the animals are hella old.